What role does social media play in your business? I'm Holly Amato. I'm a real estate specialist here in Michigan, also down in Florida, and I'm a divorce coach. And part of our being business minded videos, really, I want to delve into the different topics of where you can increase your productivity in your business and you can increase your exposure to people who are looking for what you do. You either sell a product or a service, and really connecting all of that. So today, I really want to focus in on social media. What part does social media play in your business? Now, if I asked 10 different people this question, I could get 10 different answers. But the truth is, whether or not you're fully engaged in social media, it is a huge arena for growth in your business. Put it this way. People are searching for what you do online. They're going to Google, they're going to their search engine, they're putting in what they're looking for. And if you have a presence online, you're going to pop up. Now, that takes some time to have an organic reach when you're doing social media. So a lot of times people will pay to have ads. I recommend that. I did that for a few years. I did a lot of paid ads. I still do paid ads, which I'll get to in a moment. But you can pay or have sponsored ads so that when somebody searches up what you do, you come up in the top 10 or at least on the first page of Google. You really want to be on the first page of Google because I don't know too many people that go to the second page if there's enough results on that first page. So that is something to take into account. It doesn't really matter what we think about social media. It's a huge tool that people use every single day. They're online. I would say almost everybody is online except maybe some of our older population who it wasn't part of their day-to-day life. And so maybe they don't use it as much. Maybe if you're in an Amish community, seriously, they're not online. But other than that, I don't know anybody who doesn't search online, who doesn't use that tool to search online. I mean, just look at Amazon. Everybody's even, the way we shop has changed. The way we do business has definitely changed. So before you are hired by someone, I would venture to say that they have searched you. In fact, whenever I get new clients, if they weren't referred to me by someone else, I always say, how'd you find me? And 9 out of 10 times, they're going to say online. I've seen you online. I've seen your videos. I went and checked you out online. I can see you've got a lot of content. They don't use the word content, but they'll say, you talk a lot about the business of real estate, which shows that you are not only competent, but an expert in your field. You know your stuff. So because I put a lot of that out there, there's a ton for people to look at. And I'm sure you all know a real estate agent. There's a ton of real estate agents. So especially in my field, it's really important that I set myself apart from the masses. And how do I do that? Well, I want to create we call it a parasocial relationship with my audience. What that means is people, a lot of times, if they watch you on video and they see your posts on Facebook or Instagram or wherever you're posting, they sometimes start to feel a connection to you. They feel like they know you because you're sharing portions of your life and you're also sharing your knowledge base, and they're having the opportunity to really see you in action. And then, of course, if you post yourself in action, I recommend that as well. In your place of business, working with clients, maybe interviewing, being on podcasts, just showing your product or service at work, that's going to really elevate you to another level. So I have had such a great response by being on social media, and I continue to put content out because, again, when people search, I want to pop up. I want to be the person that they find when they're looking for a real estate agent in the Metro Detroit area, or if they're looking for a certified real estate divorce specialist, which I also specialize in people going through divorce. Yes, it's a different process. There are a lot of nuances that you need to know before you hire a real estate agent if you're in the middle of a divorce. Super, super important, but I won't get off on that tangent. So number one, people are searching you up online. If you are a brick and mortar type of a business, they're going to look and see if you have Yelp reviews or any other kind of reviews. They want to see how you stack up to the competition, and they're going online to do it. They're also going to be looking for your profiles. They're going to go visit them. They're going to check them out. You know, the worst thing if you are in business for yourself, especially if you're a service industry like myself, like a real estate agent or a mortgage lender, or you sell insurance or anything like that, the worst thing you could do for yourself is to post a lot of inappropriate things on Facebook, right? I've seen it happen. I've seen people thinking they're going to get business by maybe putting too much out there, or maybe, you know, doing some things that maybe you normally wouldn't want to put online. And I think it looks extremely unprofessional. So I caution you, again, this is like kind of like the double-edged sword, right? If you are going to be in business and you're on social media, please be careful what you post. You don't know who you could be alienating or who you could be turning off by some of the posts that you put out there. And so it's really important that you show yourself as a professional. Of course, show parts of your life, but just be careful with what you put out there. I think pretty much everyone will say that to you. Anyone's going to say the same thing. So you want to have a really great platform. Now let's go for the obvious, like Captain Obvious, right? It's free advertising, free advertising. All the videos, all the content, all of the posting. If you have a coupon or an offer, you can put it out there and you can reach the masses. And if you really want to reach the masses, you can do what I do, which is paid ads. Now, a paid ad, what I love about paid ads is that you can really look at what your niche is. So with me, it's housing, right? And you can focus in on people who are searching up houses or looking up things like Zillow or Realtor, or putting in like questions about, thinking of selling my house or want to know what the mortgage rate is. People are actually doing that online, and they're doing it through Facebook ads and things that pop up. So Facebook knows who's thinking of selling their house. And when I do an ad, I can really niche down and find those people with my targeted message. Likewise, so my product, of course, is selling houses. So for my sellers, like my brand new listing that's up, just went up today, if you're watching this today, in Washington Township, I'm running a paid ad right now, like about 20 miles right in Washington Township and about 20 miles outside of that range, because I know where my buyers are typically coming from, and I want to make sure that everybody sees it, because we're going to go back to what I mentioned when we first started, and that's exposure. You want to expose your business, your products and service to as many people as possible. You really want to target to find that buyer, but the more people you can expose, the better your marketing efforts are going to be. And that's what marketing really is. Really fine-tuning your message, number one, getting your message fine-tuned so people know what it is that you do and you're concise, because if you talk too long on a quick ad, people will just scroll. So really fine-tuning that message and really finding where you're going to put that ad, or what area you're going to target. And you can do that with Facebook ads. You can do it with Instagram ads. You can do that with Google ads, which connect to YouTube, which I absolutely love. There's so much marketing that you can do. And that's really and truly, if you're not implementing that, you need to do it. I don't care if you're afraid to do video. When I first started doing video, they were off. Like, I go back and I see some of them on my timeline, like, hey, 8 years ago on Facebook, you put this out there, and I'll watch them like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? Right? In the moment, I thought it was awesome. And people were like, oh, that's so great. And now I continue to watch what I'm doing. And even though I'm not perfect at video, I'm getting better and better at it. But I know that it's just about the messaging, the message that I'm sending. I'm authentic. Nothing is perfect about what I do, but that's okay, because the message is more important than having something perfect. A lot of times, if you're in business, people really, if you're too perfect, sometimes they don't want to do business with you because they feel like, you're just not going to vibe with them. You want to just be who you are, and you will attract the people who are looking for your message, what it is that you do. Okay, so now we've got a few of those topics. Next, I really want to talk about relationship creation. So we talked about the parasocial relationship on social media. When you're putting yourself out there, people are going to watch you. They're going to see what you're putting out there. They're going to start to feel a connection with you, a relationship. Even if they've never met you in person, they're able to see your authenticity, your consistency, and what you're putting out on social media. And people will start to feel like they know you and they can trust you, And then they like you, right? People want to do business with those that they know, like, and trust. This is something that we know. And you can really create that through social media, through your posts and all of your marketing efforts that you're putting online. Likewise, you don't want to just be somebody who's always just putting information out there and never interacting with people. Okay. You need to also give. You're giving content, you're giving, but you have to also give to other people. So, really important to be active on social media. If you're posting, make sure you scroll through and see what's going on with your friends and the people that you're connected with. Maybe it's their anniversary, maybe it's their birthday, maybe their kid's graduating for college, maybe they're going through a tough time and you can send them a DM that really encourages them. But showing people that you care is huge. And you can do that with social media. You may not be able to call 100 people in a day. I mean, you might be able to do it, but you can definitely reach a lot more than 100 people in a day with social media. So it doesn't take the place of genuine relationships where you're actually sitting belly to belly and having conversations or picking up the phone and giving that extra touch. It doesn't replace that, but it definitely opens up your arena. You need an open arena of people that know who you are, know what you do, know what your message is, know what you're selling. So this weekend I was on, Grant Cardone has this big event. I think it's tomorrow. I signed up for it. It's like all day long for 3 days. And I don't know that I'll be able to be on it all day long for 3 days, but the last couple of days he's been coming on and talking. And I just watched him talk about social media, and he was kind of doing like a coaching with somebody on Zoom. He brought them up on the Zoom and he used them as an example. And this person has an amazing way to protect your cyber security, all of your information that your business has. And he's basically saying that he knows that there's businesses right now that are super vulnerable and that it would really hurt them and hurt their clients for their information to be compromised. And he has a fail-safe method of protecting that. And he knows he can do it better than anyone else. But his problem was he had this scarcity mentality in his brain, kind of like a scarcity mentality. And he had what we call imposter syndrome. He was afraid that if he put himself out there, he would look like he was boasting or braggy or, hey, I'm better than you. And he didn't want to look like that. He was concerned about coming off like that. So I watched Grant and his team coach this man, and they said, do you think that you have a product that's going to work? Oh, I know I have a product that's going to work. Do you think there's a lot of businesses out there that need your product? Absolutely. I see the need for it. I see issues and I see breaches all the time. Okay. Do you think you're doing a disservice to them by not getting your message out there? And of course, he just stopped. He didn't think of it that way. He didn't think about the fact being he's actually doing a disservice to the people he really wants to help by not getting his message out there. And I don't care who you are these days. If you don't come off confident in who you are and what you do, people will not want to do business with you. Because again, they're just getting it through here. If they're not sitting down with you, they don't know you personally, and it's just an online parasocial relationship, it needs to be a strong, confident portrayal of who you are, what you do, and how good you are. You are the expert at what you do. Don't feel ashamed to say that. Now, if you don't feel like you're the expert, then get more training, get some more coaching, get whatever you need so that you know that you're the expert, because that will come through when you're conveying a message. But there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, you really have to do it right now in this day and age. People are looking to do business with people they know, like, and trust. And part of that trust is really watching and listening and deciding if they believe that you are the best at what you do. Because when people have so many options, as they typically do, unless you're in a really niched down business where not a lot of people do what you do, a lot of us typically have competition. When you have competition, you've got to be able to say, I am the best one to do this for you. There isn't anyone else that's going to do it better. When you can put that message out there and people start to know who you are and they connect with your message They will remember you and they will come back to you. But people also have a short memory. So they'll remember you if you stay in front of them. You need to be consistent. You don't just put out a little bit of content here and there. You don't just put out one video here and there. This is funny. Twice in 1 week, I had people say to me, thought I was meeting them for the first time. Oh, I know who you are. You're Holly Amato. You're a real estate agent. You know, I can't even turn on social media without seeing one of your videos, and I love it. It's great. And I said, well, then it's working. That made me feel so good. Because even if my messaging isn't as perfect as I'd like it to be every single time, like maybe I said too many times. Whenever I'm going through my videos, I'll notice the word Oh, try not to say that. Who cares? They aren't thinking about that. They are thinking about the fact that they go to Facebook and they see me. They go to Instagram and they see me. I'm starting to pop up on YouTube. I'm trying. YouTube is a tougher one. That's like the final frontier. But that is what I want to hear. I'm being consistent. I'm putting my message out there and it's coming back to me. People are giving me feedback. I'm getting DMs that say, thank you so much for the content you put out there. It really encouraged me today. Or thank you so much. I really appreciate the level of expertise that you are offering to the marketplace. You're talking about real estate at a high level. You're talking about what's going on in the market, what's going on with rates, what's going on with pretty much what you should do as a buyer or seller. I have 2 books. I have a book for sellers. I have a book for sellers going through divorce. And I'm working on my 3rd book right now, which is focused in on buyers. And that one is taking me longer because we've got a lot of changes going on right now, but they're not really changes, but they are essentially a new paradigm shift. We're pivoting a bit with how we're working with buyers, and I'm here for it, and I absolutely love it. But that's what I'm doing. That's an example of what I'm doing so that I can set myself apart. And once I do that, I do the work. Now I have so much content that I can put out on social media so that people who are looking for what I do can find me. So I want to encourage you today. If you're already on social media, way to go. Get a content calendar. What do I mean by that? Decide how many posts you want to make per week. Posts are different than videos, are different from, sometimes you share things, but reels are videos that are within 90 seconds on Instagram or 60 seconds on, they call it a short on YouTube. But if you do it as a post, it's one thing. If you do it as a reel, it's another. And if you just do a static post, that's just, you're typing something out. You've got pictures of something. There are different content that you can put out there. And there's different times of day that they say it's good to put out there. But take a look at that. Really be purposeful and say, all right, I haven't been doing a lot of content. I want to post something every day. Or it could be a story. People love to see what you're doing on a daily basis. As long as it connects to the messaging of who you are. I'm out and about showing houses. Here I am, put it on my story. Walking through a cool house, put it on my story. See something crazy, put it on my story. Out with one of my good friends, put it on my story because that's who I am. I'm a person, I'm a social person. I love connecting my family, my friends, real estate, travel when I can. These are things that I love to really focus in on. That's who I am as a person. So I'm going to put those things out there. Stories are super easy to do. Put it on your story. You can share a post to your story easily. You just click the share and you can click to go to your story. So you can make it easy. If you share to Instagram, you can click connect Facebook to Instagram. It will share for you to Facebook. And there's a lot of rhetoric going on whether or not that's a good thing. What I just read is that sometimes you have better engagement when you post on Instagram and share to Facebook. Now, I know there's some people that say that may not work, but here's what I'm going to say. Do what makes it easy for you, because one thing I know about social media, it changes all the time. What works today may change tomorrow. So if it's between not getting it done because it takes too much time, or making it easier for you, like posting to Instagram, sharing it to Facebook, so you're doing one post and you're done, and then clicking to share to your stories, do that. Make it easy for yourself, but get a content creation calendar, CCC, content creation calendar, and really put it into your schedule. We've talked before about if it's not on your schedule, it doesn't exist. You've got to be purposeful with time management. Where does that fit into your day? If you're doing a certain kind of content like a video, do you want to do it during the day when you have good light? Are you going to be outside? Are you going to, going to be on location? Try to decide what your content is. Maybe sit and just one day brainstorm all the different ideas of things that I want to get out there, and then chunk it down into bite-sized pieces that you can do videos on. Okay? Reels, videos, however you want to do it. And after you do that, so you've got your content list, then plug it into your daily calendar. So am I going to do a post every day? That's 5 pieces of content. Remember, you can share it to different platforms. It doesn't have to be different content on every platform. That would be a lot. Maybe you just tweak it a little bit for different platforms, but am I going to post every day? Great. So here's another thing, one more thing. If you go online and you look up when's the best time to post on the different platforms, they will tell you. So here's a pro tip. Once you know what you're going to do in your content list and you plug it into when can I work on that? So what is the best time of day for me to film it or, do the video or really plan out that content? You can schedule the post. So you could essentially get all of that done. Maybe on Mondays, you're like, you know what? I'm going to go out and it's going to be content day and I'm going to do all this content within a couple of hours. I'm going to do a block of content. And then I am going to schedule those posts for the week. Then you're done. So you might feel like, oh my gosh, I'm spending so much time on social media. But if you're doing it on one day, and if you're really purposeful and you've planned maybe over the weekend exactly what content you want to do for the week, and you've got a well thought out plan, maybe you even write the scripts down for things that you want to talk about, and all you have to do on Monday is film it. I've done that before. And it's a lot. Changing your clothes like 5 times in one day, right? Because you don't want to use the same outfit for all the content. Another pro tip, change the outfit. Don't wear the same outfit for all of your videos. But it's a great way to manage your time. And then you're being thoughtful and you are looking into, okay, so for Instagram, it's saying, and Facebook, Tuesday through Friday are the best days for posting things. I don't know why Monday doesn't seem to be the best day on Facebook. That's what it says. I still post on Mondays. I still go live on Mondays typically with my Mortgage Monday with my partner, Ken. But look and see what it says. And then you can kind of look and see when you are a content creator on Facebook, digital creator, switch your platform over and go as a digital creator. Now you can look at every single post that you do and it will tell you who saw it, how long they watched it if it's a video, all your likes or your comments. It'll also tell you your demographic. So age group, 18 to 24, 25 to 35, 36 to 45, 46 to 64, I forget what they all are. And then male versus female. It's really interesting when I look and see who's watching me. It's my age group is my number one grouping, which I'm not surprised on. But then it shows me, and you can also see times of day. You can see where the best time for you to post, because again, your audience might be different than my audience. Just because Facebook says this is the best time to post, they're looking at the global view of all of Facebook, which is not a bad thing to go by. If you don't have any other data, go by that. But if you kind of know when your people are online and when you're getting the most engagement, is it early morning? Is it late at night? Is it midday? Is it at lunchtime? Are people going on their phones at lunchtime and watching you? Find that out, and then you can even become more purposeful. But you don't have to make it that hard. I'm just giving you kind of like where to start and how you can really scale it to really have a higher level of success with what you're doing. And as you do it, you'll get better at it. It's like anything else. You're going to get better at it. As you do it, you're not going to be perfect right away. Nobody's perfect right away. Nobody's perfect ever, but you definitely don't start out right out of the gate perfect at everything, okay? You're going to have to grow into it, but that's okay. Just continue to be yourself, be authentic. Don't try and be somebody else because that won't come across well. And just do what you can do, but continue to grow your exposure and your influence online, because I promise you, social media isn't going anywhere. And your clients and consumers are online. They're either looking for you and you're not popping up, or they're researching you, or they're actually going with your name to find your profiles because somebody said, hey, you should use Holly. So they're coming and looking for me. What are they going to see when they come looking for you online? Are they going to see enough that gives them the confidence to give you a call or not? Are you kind of like a ghost online? Because you will not have a leg up if you're a ghost online. The best relationships are always going to be face-to-face networking with people. If I'm sitting in front of you having a conversation, we're getting to know each other, that's always going to trump everything. Nothing's ever better than that. That personalized relationship when you're sitting belly to belly, that's always going to be the best. Because someone really can see who you are and ask you whatever they want, right? They're getting to know you real well. But since you can't do that the way that we live now, you can't get in front of enough people to have a really successful business or to continue to have that growth factor, that trajectory that I like to talk about, you need to be online. You need to be online. And anyone who tells you differently, one of two things. Either they're living under a rock or they don't want you to be successful. And that's dangerous. Don't listen to somebody who tells you not to go online because they should want you to be successful. People should want the best for you, right? I don't even know some of the people that will see this video, and I want the best for you. Even if you're in my industry, maybe you're another real estate agent. Great. I want to see you do well. I want to see you do well. People who talk negatively about social media, either they don't want the best for you or they're insecure with their own online presence. And therefore, that insecurity is fueling their fear that they don't want to see you out there because they don't feel like they can compete with you. So remember, people who are doing more than you or are doing at least as much and have that positive mentality and don't have a scarcity mindset or a lack mentality, they're going to want to propel you forward. Be careful of that crab in the barrel. I'm sure you've heard the story, the crabs in the barrel. One starts to climb out of the barrel and the other one pull them back down because they don't know what's on the other side of that. And they don't want to see one get out, right? They could all get out. But instead, one tries to get out and the other one's pulling back down. So watch that. That's another pro tip. Who you listen to and who you choose to fuel your mindset is really important. Again, I'm Holly Amato. I'm a real estate specialist here in Michigan. I'm also a licensed broker down in Florida, divorce coach, and I'm here for you. I love these conversations. I love talking about being business-minded, and I would love it if you would reach out. You can either comment below or send me a message. What are some topics you'd like to hear me talk about? Or would you like to collaborate? Maybe we can talk together. Maybe we can do a podcast together. That would be fun. Either way, have an amazingly blessed day.